And no lights are lighting up. That's never a good sign. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to robmotivejl. Today I am installing my homemade Homelink system in the Jeep Wrangler. This one, it's the Sport S, did not come with any kind of Homelink. So I'm going to install my own. Now I'll show you what that is in just a second, but I had thought that I was going to put it in here. A couple of momentary buttons connected to the garage door openers, but I'll show you why I'm not going to do that. What I did is I pulled the knee plate off of here, and I'm going to put the switches right about here on that knee plate. So let me show you what I've done. I just took two standard garage door openers, took the guts out, and then I soldered wires to the connection points that activate the garage door opener when you push the button. The same as when you push the button on the opener itself. This one's a bad example. It's about 40 years old. This one, here you can see the buttons. My wires are connected to the 2 points that contact when you push this button on your clicker. So, here's the panel. Oh, let me show you why I am not putting it in the first space. That's because it has this embossed Jeep, logo or Jeeps, whatever you want to say, on it, and I would destroy that in doing it. I thought about trying to mount a switch here and a switch here, but there's really not enough room in the back, and I would still get into the graphics that are on this, and I didn't want to do that. There may be a replacement panel you can get out there that is 4 switches. I don't know. This is there for a reason, right? And it comes out, it's just held in by little pressure arms, if you will. So we're not doing that. This is the plate, or the kicker, from inside. It goes like this, and the 2 switches will be here and here. So they're going to be one above the other, I think. I could put them across, whatever. You have to make sure if you ever do this, that there's nothing behind here that would impede the part of the switch or the button that sticks out. That's why I'm putting them so low. You can see the 2 dots. They're here and here. That's where the switches are going to fall. And they're going to be like that, of course, protruding through the other side. And then I'm going to secure the 2 circuit boards up here, and there's enough room, I've already checked, like so. And then they'll connect the wires onto the terminals on the buttons, and that's it. I just solder them on. I'll put these down with just a couple of pieces of Velcro tape, one on the circuit board itself and then one on the holder, and it should work fine. I've done something similar before, never had any issues with it. So first things first, I've got to drill the holes through this, and that's always the scariest part, drilling through your finished panel, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll mount the switches in there and get them soldered in. Alright, here we go. Got you guys on the hat cam so you can see what I'm seeing, hopefully. I'm going to start with a smaller bit, obviously, as a pilot hole, and just go ahead and drill through. So wish me luck. Here I go. I do want to check one more thing. This one, yeah, I think that's a good position for it. So let's do the first hole. Drills through really easy. There's never any problems drilling through. Now, before I continue, I do want to check and make sure that I'm going to have enough distance between the 2. I do not want them to be so close that there's a real thin piece of plastic area between. So I might actually, I think I'm going to move this one up just a little bit. Maybe eyeing it, of course. Somewhere right there at the dot. So I'm going to go up, think about right here. Obviously not on the dot that I made. That's okay, I hope. Here we go. That's it. There is no going back now. So now I'm just going to enlarge the holes with different bits. I might use a step bit as well, probably, because I think the biggest bit I have here is not big enough to go ahead and put it in. So let me do that and we'll come back on. Alright, got it all done. I did need to use the step bit. What I was trying to accomplish, there's a little lip know if you guys can see this or not, but there's a little lip that's wider than the threaded area. I want it to sit flush, and if you notice, if you can see it, I don't know, it does sit flush now, so the holes are plenty big enough the way that I want them. This is the remains, the guts that's left over. So now I just need to clean this off, and we're going to go ahead and put the momentary switches in. Okay, those holes came out really well. We'll see once the buttons are in. I think this one might be a little bit more this way than that one, but it's close enough. This is easy. You just simply drop it in, flip it over, and I can't decide if I want red on top or black. I think we'll just go red. And I want the terminals to end up facing this way, make it easier to solder the wires on, I think, I hope. And hopefully there's enough meat left on the switch, I think so, to go ahead and put these on. Little tip for you, grab a socket that fits the nut, and you should be able to just crank it on there. And I think I'm gonna, I'll be able to turn it. So you get the idea. I'm just going to tighten it down. It shouldn't be that difficult, hopefully. And that's it. Looks almost like the lock washer wants to go through the hole. It shouldn't. It looks plenty big enough to me, but nonetheless, it's what it looks like. Doesn't matter. These things are not going to get a lot of stress. I mean, unless I, you know, have a battery go dead and spend a lot of time really cranking on them, it should be fine. So that's how that works. I'll put the other one on, and then we'll get to the soldering. All right, there you go. You can see how they're in, and they actually did come out pretty close. This one's off a little, but that's okay. And there's my buttons. So now it's time to solder. I'm going to go ahead and mount these underneath where I want them, just with some double-sided, or some Velcro rather. I could use double-sided tape, but I'd like to be able to pop them up if I want to for some reason. So we'll get them on, and then we'll commence the soldering. And this one I think I'm going to put right up close, because my wires are short and I don't really want to add anything to them, so I should be able to solder these in right here. And now would be a good time to test too. You might want to go ahead and stick your wires on each side and go ahead and see if any lights light up. And no lights are lighting up. That's never a good sign. Let's try that again. Boy, wouldn't that be a bummer. Just means I have to replace the switch or my wire, because I know it works. I've already tested it. Is it on the other side? Maybe there it is. I was covering it. You see that red light lighting up? That's it. Okay, so let me go ahead and get set up for that, and then we'll do some soldering. Okay, I've got my super duper solder gun here, and I am not the best solderer, so feel free to leave a comment and make fun of me. But we're going to go ahead and see if we can't get some solder on here. Doesn't take much. I mean, this isn't a big time connection, so that should be it for that one, I think. That actually went better than it usually does for me. Wow, must be my day for soldering. Let's hit this one. Okay, hopefully I'm not melting the buttons too badly. God, wouldn't that be great? Okay, I think I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Now, the big test, did I ruin the button by heating it up too much? Let's find out. I should see a light pop on under there somewhere. Okay, we saw that one. Hopefully this one lights up. No. Not real well. Okay, I'm not real happy with that one. That's the red one. try it again. And again. Alright, seems to be working. I'm happy with it. We're going to go with it. I can always change it out if I did somehow screw it up. You have to be really careful, I guess. You heat this terminal up too much, you can melt the plastic that's around it, right? And I certainly seem to have done that. Wow. Let's try it one more time. Seems to be working. I'm going to go with it. So now I just need to pop this thing back in the Jeep. Hopefully everything's out of the way. I did Velcro everything down here so it's nice and solid. Shouldn't get any vibrating or anything like that. And all you're going to see inside the Jeep is that, the two buttons. That's it. So let me go put it in and then I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, got it in the Jeep, no problems. Everything fits in there just the way it should. There it is. There are the two buttons. This camera lightens up a little bit. You can see them both right here, one over the other. Perfect. I don't remember which one is which, so it'll take me a while to get used to that, I guess. But that's how it is. I did put the little plug thing or whatever, the graphic thing back here where it was. No harm, no foul there. Plate fits perfectly. I would call that a successful mod. That's it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Ever done anything like this? Maybe consider doing it? I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.